Hi everyone, welcome to the monthly astrology snapshot. I am Paula Shaw and I am here today to talk to you a little bit about what's coming in the next lunar month, which is beginning at the new moon happening in Pisces within a few hours from when you'll receive this email. And it is on the 13th of March everywhere in the world. And there is something really healing, soothing, and divine about this new moon. It's happening in Pisces, and Pisces is the sign of the dreamer. It's the sign of spirituality. It's a water sign. It rules emotions and the movement of how we feel and energy. It can be really mystical and really dreamy. So when there's a new moon in Pisces, which is, always happening at the last lunar month of the year, it's a time to just go in, be really quiet, listen to what's going on inside. It's also an amazing time to look for answers in your dream state. You can go to sleep, and as you're going to sleep, ask a question and give it to the dream state and see what answers you get overnight, especially during this lunar month where we have Venus conjunct Neptune. Right now Venus is conjunct the Sun, and she will be this whole lunar month. And that's a really important configuration to talk about, because Venus is the planet of love, as anyone that's studied any astrology will have heard that. Venus rules everything that is good about being a human on Earth. And while she is conjunct the Sun, she is not visible. So we can't see her. We can see Venus all year round, but when she is conjunct the Sun, she's too close. She's in the rays of the Sun. And in ancient astrology, that was seen as a time where she was invisible. And they believed, because they couldn't see her in the sky, they believed that that was a time where she was losing power. Another way to look at it is when she is actually sitting with the monarch, the king/queen. And so, it's even been said that she's in a conversation with the great king, great queen, the sun. So it'd be interesting to see what comes of this, with all this healing energy around this month. It will be interesting to see if Venus, the ruler of our relationships, our wealth, all of the good things about life, goes through some healing, some purification through sitting. Maybe there's a negotiation going on with the sun, so to speak, the monarch, the leaders, the rulers, as to different ways that we can do all of those aspects of our lives. We are living through a greater cycle of great destabilisation, with Saturn square Uranus playing out all year. Uranus wants to break the rules. Uranus wants to disrupt the patterns. Saturn is all about tradition and structure. So we're going to constantly experience things being shaken up. But the main intention with Saturn and Uranus, when you embrace it, which is really hard, is that it's not about good or bad. It is just about making sure we don't stay in old rhythms and patterns that are heavy and stuck and going nowhere. So these are just the natural cycles of life. And for me, as a student of astrology, one of the key things I've learnt from astrology is to understand life is cyclical. It's constantly changing and evolving. The sands are always shifting. And so it's taught me to find those things that keep me really connected to myself, to what I value. Venus is what we value. She's going through this dreamy conjunction with Neptune. So she's looking at her spiritual values, and they're being purified in the rays of the sun right now. So while we're in this time of destabilization, this is a perfect moment for you to check in with things that keep you grounded. What are your values? What do you come back to when life's getting weird? This is also a beautiful lunar month to engage deeply in your spiritual practices. Anything that supports you to really stay connected to a greater purpose and a greater meaning for life. When we lose meaning And when we as a species lose connection to the divine, we become apathetic. We become alienated from love, from life, from nature. And that's when the problems will really start happening. So find a way this lunar month to connect back to the divine, back to faith, back to meaning. It's not illogical and crazy to find meaning. It's all about meaning. This life is all about meaning. Saturn and Uranus, the rules are being disrupted. Take advantage of that. Go into your spiritual practices. I don't personally care what it is, whatever it is that sustains you, whether it's prayer, meditation, it doesn't have to be religious, whether it's being with nature, connecting with your friends that you can talk about anything with, caring for others, caring for animals, whatever it is, connect with it this month. Embrace that. Be held by that. Be nourished by that. There are times when we can receive guidance, insights, healing from the divine, whatever that is. This lunar month is absolutely one of those months. We then have the full moon in Libra, and this is a ripening, a culmination of everything to do with relationships again. Venus is the ruler of Libra, so this is a strong theme all month. This is a time to maybe have a watershed moment around what you want from your partners and the people in your lives. A moment to let go of some of your heavy expectations and to just come back to love. Love is the one constant. Kindness, wisdom, respect. You can always come back to that in these destabilizing times that we're living through. And one more piece I want to bring in is the astrological new year on the 21st, 20th of March. And that's always at the equinox, which is the equal day and equal night. And a turn of the seasons. Our ancestors celebrated this time with, connection, community, food, dance, music. So I personally always look at the astrological new year as the beginning of the year. Works for me. I look and I see it's with the seasons are changing. I see that the sun is moving into Aries as a different frequency. Even if you're in the different hemispheres, there's still a shift. And at this new year, it's always a potent moment to seed in something new, to seed in something that is going to sustain you throughout this next 12 months. So I recommend really sitting down and listening to that. Let the healing happen. Engage with the mystical, magical realms because they're a part of this human experience. Don't get lost in it though. There's all this energy with Venus and Neptune and the Sun, and Chiron's there as well, the great shaman, great healer. Oh, we can just heal some deep wounds, ancient wounds. But don't get lost. Don't get caught in the nebulous mystical realms. But this is a really great month to go and receive healings. This is a great month to connect, like I said before, with whatever is sacred and spiritual to you, because you may just find you receive some really, really precise information that you can't get at the logical linear level. This is a lunar month for the non-linear realms where it's out of the normal patterns. Again, we've got this great Saturn, Uranus square. Work with it. Embrace it. That's why I love doing these snapshots, is to really help people go, oh, these things are weird. What is it? I've watched this over the years working with clients. I observed these cycles playing out. It was undeniable to me that there are collective stories that we all go through. So at this turn of the seasons, at this new astrological new year, with all this healing energy, take some time to soothe the wounds, come back to love, hug your beloveds. If you're freaking out, I'm telling you, it always comes back to love. You could do a meditation where you imagine love pouring from your heart to the people around you. Even if it's not real that the energy goes, it's changing the way your mind thinks. Change your old patterns, restructure your life, embrace this shift in humanity, embrace that we're coming out of these traditions and these stuck energies that no longer reflect who we actually are. as a species. The less fear you have, the more you can work with it, and the more you can see the magic. The more you are in reverence of the divine, the more reverence the divine can have with you. You can be in communion. So don't hold back. If you're not a super spiritual person, at least get into something creative. Get into some music, go into nature. To me, that's spirituality. You know, cook some food, be with the ones you love. But most of all, allow this lunar month to soothe you. It's a tough time on Earth. And yeah, we got to be good to each other. And this is the perfect time to do it. So I wish you well. I'll see you all next month. Actually, I've just started a new membership site for the Lunar Project, and the first month is free. So if you feel like you want to check it out, and you're curious about what I've been talking about, and you're curious about ritual, curious about meditation, and the lunar phases and astrology, then you know this is a really cool place to get in and explore. I love it. It's just such a passion project of mine, and I just feel so grateful to be able to share this with the world. So you can see it'll be in the links below. So yeah, sending you all love, and I'll see you next month.